Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the pod. Welcome. I had a very aha moment the other day while in Bali, and I want to share it with you guys because this is a lesson or a thing that I have been trying to learn and understand for a really long time, but I feel like I haven't really pinpointed it because I haven't fully been in a space or in that situation. I'm a 6'2" in human design, right? So the 6 is like the first chunk of your life. You're living it like a 3. Everything is trial and error. You learn by doing. And I feel like sometimes when these lessons come, like I know them and I can actually understand the lesson, but I won't be able to integrate it unless I've gone through it myself. And this was one of those moments, okay? Make shit your own, okay? When you are so rigid in trying to follow a structure, that's where you lose your creativity. That's where you lose your flow. And I've known this for so long, but I've never really been able to embody it because I've never actually lived through that experience and seen the difference when I do start to flow. So I'm going to tell you guys this story. And it's crazy because you can just be doing such normal everyday things and have the biggest revelations. So something I have always wanted to do are these dance classes, right? Like hip hop, dance hall, maybe the chair classes when you're on the floor all sensual, when a Chris Brown song comes on and it's like a TikTok video of these girls just dancing so sensually and beautifully, and you're like, how the fuck do they do that? I have wanted to do this for so long. Okay, I haven't really found a studio in Toronto that I vibed with. There was one in London that I did, but wherever I was living, it always seemed to be at least an hour away. And I was like, ugh, after work, do I really want to travel an hour there and back? It's going to be dark. It's going to be cold. I had a lot of limiting beliefs, and I didn't have that. I don't want to say independence because I obviously am a very independent person moving to all these countries and doing all these things by myself. But there was just something that I didn't want to do it. There was some sort of fear or some sort of something holding me back. There was something holding me back. And before I came to Bali, I saw on Instagram a studio here that had that exact type of dancing. The vibe of the studio was amazing, very sensual, very in your feminine. And my goal with coming to Bali, because I've been in my masculine for so many years, was to truly embody that feminine energy, which it has. Bali has definitely shifted me into that like crazy. But it was something that I really wanted to embody more. And dancing is a great way to do that. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm in Bali alone. Obviously my friend is here, but we live separately. We have different lives, and I'm just going to do this thing. And I had asked a couple people, I'm like, hey, do you want to do this with me? Do you want to do this with me? And they were all kind of nah, not my thing. And I was like, you know what? The universe is really just forcing me into doing this experience by myself. It's a lesson also that I've learned here is stop waiting for other people to do things. If I want to do it, just fucking do it. You don't have to wait for other people to do it with you. So that's another thing. Side noting. But anyway, so I finally go to these classes, right? And I've taken 2 or 3 at this point, and I am struggling. I used to cheerlead. I danced as a kid. In my head, I was like, oh yeah, I might be a little rusty with my movement, but I should be able to pick up the choreo just fine. No, that is not what happened at all. To be fair, I'm not horrible. I can still move. I can still pick up the choreo, but there were all of these little moves that would throw me off where if it's a dance move that I hadn't done before, trying to get myself to look exactly like the instructor while she was doing it, which in my head, I'm like, she's teaching me choreo. Obviously, I need to look like what she's doing because if I'm not doing her choreo, then what the fuck am I learning, And so I had this thing where I had to make it look exactly like her. I was trying so hard to perfect it, and the class was moving pretty fast. She wasn't overly explaining how to do each move, and I was also a little bit shy. Everyone else seemed to be getting it, and I was like, I don't want to just be the one asking a million questions trying to figure out how to do this move when everyone can do it and I'm holding us up, blah blah blah. All of these limiting beliefs and fears coming through, right? And this is the 3rd class at this point, and I'm good with the choreo, guys. I'm good. I'm learning it. We're getting it done. But in every single class, there was one section where there would be a couple moves that didn't feel intuitive, they didn't flow properly, or I didn't know how to do them properly, and it would always trip me up. So no matter how many times we did it, I would always fuck up in the same spot, and I just couldn't get it. And finally, I went to my first dance hall class, and I don't know if you guys have seen me dance, but fuck man, I am I can whine like nobody's business. My hips move, right? So I was like, oh, this class will be easy for me. So good. Of course, there were moments that were easy, but then there was, again, the one move that I was like, I can't fucking get this. And it was a whine. And I was like, why can't I get this? But I'm very comfortable winding in one direction. I think it's counterclockwise I'm good at. Clockwise is a little bit harder. And so I asked her, I was like, fuck it. I'm just going to be brave. I'm just going to ask this fucking question because this is the shit I know how to do. And if I'm struggling with this, then like something's got to give, you know? And so I was like, do you have any tips to wind in that direction? Because I'm really good with the other way, but this one feels unnatural to me. And she literally looked at me and she was like, girl, this class is about having fun. Just do what feels intuitive. Do what feels natural. If you want to wind the other way, wind the other way. Like, make these moves your own. Do your thing. And I was like, oh, okay. So if it feels uncomfortable or unnatural to my body, I can just do it the way that it feels good for me. Okay. And so we went through the choreo again to the music, did it. And I wind the other way. And when I tell you, shit fucking clicked. Oh, my God. Oh my God. Okay. Like everything started flowing. I did so well in that choreo. It was so good. And I've been to a couple classes since, keeping that same thing in mind. And like, again, she did always say, she was like, do what you want with your hands, make it your own, blah, blah, blah. But I never really like integrated that of what she was saying. I was focusing so much on matching the moves. And ever since, I have been using her as guidance, but making the moves more in line with what flows to me, what feels more intuitive to my body and my natural dance style. I've been doing so much better. I'm picking things up so easily. I'm not fucking up anymore. Like, I actually feel like I'm good at what I'm doing. And it is literally because I am making it my own. And so this is your reminder. And this is what I mean. Like, it's a freaking dance class and I'm having these revelations about life. It's crazy. Bali is intense, you guys. Bali is amazing. But it's like, use that in every single aspect of your life. Don't try and make things a freaking like cookie cutout of what the other people are doing. Like, yeah, sure, you need structure in your life. Yeah, sure, maybe you need to learn like these are the steps and how you do this, or you know, this is how you do this certain thing, but like use it as a guideline. If you're finding something else works for you, do that. If you're intuitively feeling called to do something a certain way, do that. Like, you don't have to make it the same as everyone else. And when you do, that takes away your authenticity, that takes away your flow, that takes away your spark. And actually, it's not going to do as well. So basically, the lesson here is remember that like you are your own source of creativity. And when you're being authentic to yourself and you're doing what feels natural and good for you and not worrying about what else is going on around you, you find so much more flow and you create so much more of a spark in the work or in the movements, the activity, whatever it is that you're doing. You can use other people as a guidance, as an outline, right? To learn how to do something maybe. Like for her, like her choreo was the guidance, but then I made it my own based on my intuitive dance style and what feels more natural to me and my body. And so take that into every single thing that you do in life. Do it, but do it in your own way. What about you and your way of doing things, your ideas, the way your brain works, the way that you can create makes it special and makes it different from everyone else's, because that's what's going to get you into a state of flow. That's what's going to get you more connected to your intuition. That's what's going to help you develop your spiritual gifts, your literally just all of it. Like, it all starts to flow. The more that you trust yourself, the more that you lean into your authenticity and who you are as a person, that's when things really start to grow and really start to flow. Grow and flow. So that is my little mini lesson for today. It's very short, a very quick snippet, but it was something that, even though it seems so small, was such a profound realization for me, because again, like, this is something that I know people have told me so many times, and like intellectually I get it, but this was the first time I ever had integrated it in my body and actually learned it through experience. And it was just such a clicking moment. I really wanted to come on and share it with you guys. So that is it for today. I hope you guys are having an amazing day, an amazing week. Again, if you guys have any questions ever, just shoot me a DM. I am .alexischristine, both on TikTok and on Instagram. And if you guys like the show, please, please, please leave us a good review, subscribe, follow, whatever platform you're watching us on, because I want to be able to share this with as many people as possible and help them on their journeys too. Love you guys.